In September, residents of Saline Township, Michigan, voted overwhelmingly to reject a $16 billion artificial intelligence data center. They believed they had stopped it, but by November, construction crews were already on the ground. The real story is not about a local zoning dispute. It is about a fundamental shift where the physical necessity of the artificial intelligence boom has become so urgent that it overrides local democracy. By the end of this video, you will understand why your community's vote no longer matters for projects deemed critical to national security, and how a new legal architecture is being built to force these facilities into existence regardless of public consent. To understand what is happening, you have to look at the sheer scale of the project that defeated the voters. This is the Stargate Initiative, a joint venture between OpenAI and Oracle. The plan was to build a facility covering 21 million square feet. That is roughly the size of 300 football fields, making it the largest construction project in the state of Michigan. When a community votes down a project of that magnitude, the usual assumption is that the deal is dead. In the past, if a town said no, a developer would walk away, perhaps to negotiate a different location or to scale back the plans. That era of negotiable development is over. The reason the vote was ignored is that the project has been reclassified from a commercial real estate development into a strategic national asset. Here is the thing that changes everything. The speed at which construction began after the rejection was not accidental. It was enabled by a specific executive order signed in July of 2025. This order created a streamlined permitting process for any infrastructure project exceeding $500 million. The intent was explicit: to secure United States artificial intelligence dominance in the face of global competition. By classifying these massive data centers as critical to national competitiveness, the federal government effectively preempts local zoning laws. The logic is that a local township board does not have the authority to veto a project that is essential for the country's technological sovereignty. This creates a legal override mechanism where federal priorities supersede local sovereignty. Quick resource note: I keep a curated set of Amazon search links in the description for books, gear, and tools relevant to this channel's topics. Some are affiliate links, so I may earn a commission at no extra cost to you. Please consider supporting the channel by using those links if you find something useful. You might wonder how they bypassed the legal hurdles so quickly. They did not simply bulldoze through the opposition. Instead, they engaged in a rapid legal settlement that resolved the dispute in court. This outcome highlights a crucial trade-off in the current landscape. While the infrastructure is now non-negotiable in terms of its final approval, local opposition still imposes significant friction. The project required a lawsuit and a settlement rather than unilateral force. This means that while communities can no longer stop these projects outright, they can still force the developers to pay a premium in time and money. The cost-benefit analysis for the artificial intelligence giants has shifted from local economic impact to national strategic survival. They are willing to absorb the legal costs and delays because the geopolitical stakes are too high to ignore. This dynamic reveals a new architectural decision in how infrastructure is deployed. We are moving away from a model where developers seek a social license to operate through community engagement and consensus. Instead, the model is now one of imposed necessity. The physical constraints of the artificial intelligence boom, such as the massive energy density required for cooling and computing, have become so acute that communities can no longer veto projects deemed essential. The reliance on a private-public partnership between OpenAI and Oracle to bypass local opposition signals that the market is no longer driven by organic acceptance. It is being driven by high-level policy and capital leverage. The physical reality of the boom is being enforced through federal frameworks that treat these facilities as non-negotiable components of national defense. Consider the implications for the future of community consent. The failure of the local vote to stop the project demonstrates that the mechanism of democracy has been structurally altered for this specific sector. Local governments are finding themselves in a position where they lack the tools to contest projects that are backed by federal emergency powers. The acceleration of the project reveals a supply chain and permitting bottleneck where local democratic processes are simply incompatible with the geopolitical urgency of the artificial intelligence boom. This is not a temporary glitch. It is a permanent shift in how infrastructure is approved. The narrative of absolute inevitability is not just about the technology, it is about the legal and regulatory frameworks that are being rewritten to ensure the technology gets built. The reliance on specific executive orders also highlights a knowledge gap regarding the long-term stability of this regulatory bypass. While the current administration has the will to push these projects through, future administrations or legal challenges could alter the permitting landscape. This uncertainty adds a layer of risk for the companies involved, but it does not stop the momentum. The current trajectory suggests that for hyperscalers, physical deployment has become the primary constraint, and they are willing to use every legal tool available to overcome it. The Stargate case serves as empirical evidence that the physical reality of the artificial intelligence boom is currently being enforced through high-level policy and capital leverage rather than organic market acceptance. Ultimately, this situation forces us to confront a difficult truth about the future of technology. The era where communities could say no to massive infrastructure projects is ending. The physical constraints of the artificial intelligence boom have become so acute that the social license to operate is being redefined. It is no longer about whether the community wants the project. It is about whether the nation needs it. The shift from negotiable development to imposed necessity marks a turning point in how we build the digital future. The laws are changing to ensure that the machines get built, even if the people do not want them. This is the new reality of the artificial intelligence boom, where the speed of innovation is outpacing the speed of democracy. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. I am a one-person team working hard to make each video better than the last. Subscribe if you found value. It is the best way to show support. Drop a comment with your biggest takeaway. See you in the next video.